Good morning, students. I am your English teacher, Mr. Parikshit Rana. Welcome you all to my YouTube channel, Sanskrit English e-learning. Friends, today we will discuss the remaining part, the second part of our Unit 5, the ailing planet, the green movement's role. It has been well said that forest precede mankind, desert follow. Writer wants to say that we are converting forest into desert. The world ancient patrimony of tropical forest is now eroding at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year. फॉरेस्ट ऑफ 40 to 50 million acre आर इरोडिंग का मतलब होता है खत्म हो रहे हैं. And the growing use of dung for burning deprives the soil of an important natural fertilizer. So human beings are use animals dung as a fuel, so that we are losing natural fertilizer. We can instead of use that as a fuel, we can use that as a fertilizer. The World Bank estimates that a 5-fold increase in the rate of forest planting is needed to cope with the expected fuel wood demand in the year 2000. So Nani Palkhiwala said in 1994, when he has written this article, at that time he told us that we should increase the rate of forest planting 5 times. हमें 5 गुना फॉरेस्ट प्लांटिंग बढ़ाना है. पर ये 2000 की ईयर में फ्रॉम 1994 टू 2000 में हम ऐसा नहीं कर पाए. आर्टिकल 48A ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया प्रोवाइड्स दैट द स्टेट shall endeavor to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forest and wildlife of the country. But what causes endless anguish is the fact that law are never respected nor enforced in India. So here writer says that in article 48A it is written that government protect the forest and wildlife, but in India didn't follow the rules and regulation. For instance, the constitution says that casteism, untouchability and bonded labor shall be abolished, but they flourish shamelessly even after 44 years of operation of the constitution. So after 44 years of independence, casteism, untouchability and bonded labor are remain same. There is no change. A recent report of our parliament's estimates committee has highlighted the near catastrophic depletion of India's forest over the last 4 decades. India, according to the reliable data, is losing its forest at the rate of 3.7 million acres a year. Large area officially is estimated to be about 8 times the rate indicated by government's statistics. So here writer says that in parliament report it is highlighted about the destruction of forest in last 40 years. Every year 3.7 million acre trees have been cut in India. So in short, government didn't follow the rules and regulation in India. They didn't take care of the forest. James Speth, the president of the World Resources Institute, said the other day, we were saying that we are losing the forest at an acre a second, but it much closer to an acre and a half to a second. What he wants to say? This James Speth said that in every half second we are losing not 1 acre but 1.5 acre forest because of the requirement of wood. A 3-year study using satellites and aerial photography conducted by the United Nations warns that the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many of the 88 countries investigated. Here writer says that through satellites and aerial photography, United Nations has studied that in 88 countries the condition of the environment is critical. There can be no doubt that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society. It took mankind more than a million years to reach the first billion. That was the world population around the year 1800. By the year 1900, a second billion was added, and the 20th century has added another 3.7 billion. The present world population is estimated at 5.7 billion. Every 4 years, 4 days, the world population increases by 1 million. Here writer says that future of human society is distorting because of the growth of world population. In 1800, population was 1 billion, and in 1900 it was 2 billion, and in 20th century it has added another 3.7 billion. So in short, day by day the population of the world increases. Every 4 days 1 million children take birth. Fertility falls as incomes rise, education spreads, and health improves. Thus, development is the best contraceptive, but development itself may not be possible if the present increases in numbers continue. What here writer says that Nani Palkhiwala says that our income rise day by day, education also spreads, health improves, but due to the population, development is not possible. We can't develop our country. We will never give better education to our children, and we will never improve their health also. Further he says that the rich get richer and the poor beget children, which condemns them to remain poor. More children does not mean more workers, merely more people without work. It is not suggested that human beings be treated like cattle and compulsorily sterilized, but there is no alternative to voluntary family planning without introducing an element of coercion. The choice is really between control of population and perpetuation of poverty. So here writer says that rich become rich, poor become poor. Writer says we can't treat human as a cattle, but they never try to understand this. So we should not give birth to more and more children, and in short we can say that we should educate them to control population. We can educate the people to control the population so that the problem of poverty and unemployment never increase. The population of India is estimated to be 920 million today, more than the entire population of Africa and South America put together. No one familiar with the condition in India would doubt that the hope of the people would die in their hungry hutments unless population control is given topmost priority. Here writer says that in 1994, when he has written this article, at that time India's population was 920 million, which was more than Africa and South America together. If the population will increase, many people would die. If the population will increase, many people would die due to hunger, because development is not possible because of population. So that the topmost priority of India is to control the population. For the first time in human history, we see a transcending concern. The survival not just of the people but of the planet. We have begun to take a holistic view of the very basis of our existence. The environmental problem does not necessarily signal our demise. It is our passport for the future. The emerging New World vision has ushered in the era of responsibility. It is a holistic view, an ecological view, seeing the world as an integrated whole rather than a disassociate collection of parts. So here writer wants to say that earth is the base of our existence. And environmental problem is not only the signal of our death, but it is the passport for the future also. Further he says that due to green movement we became responsible. Due to the green movement, this green movement also taught us how to treat earth. We can learn how to treat earth. We should understand the earth with its ecological view. We can understand the earth and environment better. Industry has a most crucial role to play in this new era of responsibility. What a transformation would be effected if more businessmen shared the view of the chairman of DuPont, Mr. Edgar S. Woolard, who 5 years ago declared himself to be the company's chief environmental officer. He said, our continued existence as a leading manufacturer requires that we excel in environmental performance. So here writer says that chairman of the company, which company? DuPont. DuPont. This is the name of the company. Mr. Edgar S. Woolard, who was the chief environmental officer, declared that before manufacturing anything in the company, we should first of all think about the environment. So कुछ भी मैन्युफैक्चर करने से पहले सबसे पहले हमें पर्यावरण के बारे में सबसे पहले सोचना पड़ेगा. So this is the last paragraph of this unit. Of all the statements made by Margaret Thatcher during the years of her prime ministership, none has passed so decisively into the current coin of English usage as her felicitous words. पहले कभी उन्होंने नहीं बोले ऐसे वर्ड्स यहाँ पर बताए हैं. She was the prime minister. When she was the prime minister at that time, she has delivered many speeches, but this speech of her is extraordinary. What she said, no generation has a free hold on this earth. All we have is a life tenancy with a full repairing lease. What she says, she said that no one in this world is permanent. We are like a tenant. We are living here as a tenant, so that we should pay fees. So as a part of it, we should repair our earth. In the words of Mr. Lester Brown, what he said, we have not inherited this earth from our forefathers, we have borrowed it from our children. So do not think that we have inherited the earth from our ancestor, but think that we have borrowed it from our children. कहने का मतलब है अपने पेरेंट्स से, अपने फोर फादर से, अपने पूर्वजों से हमने जैसी ही अर्थ प्राप्त की थी वैसी ही अर्थ हमें अपने बच्चों को देनी है. So thank you very much for listening this video. Happy Diwali vacation and best of luck for unit test 4.